Hello. Okay, this is so important. You guys don't judge me. I have my house stuff on. I went to juicy crab earlier, but now I'm in my house clothes stuff. This video is so important to me because last year I had a pregnancy and I spoke with my partner about it when I thought the event occurred when we had sex. And he pretty much was like, no, I don't think that I came in you because I will take a plan B. And he said no, and I just went with that. And then come to find out, I started feeling weird. I started feeling like maybe I am. My body was just totally different. Hormonally, it started changing. And so I went to a pregnancy clinic up the street, and they said it's too early. I have to wait at least 5 weeks. Well, I did a home pregnancy test at 4.5 weeks. It did not come back positive. And my partner was like, the next week, he was like, let's just get a test. So when he goes to CVS, he gets like a True Blue digital, and it says pregnant on it. So then I go back to the free pregnancy clinic. At this point, I'm 6 weeks, and she's like, you're pregnant. Test comes back. This time they let me take the pregnancy test. This time they also do an ultrasound. It has a heartbeat, and I'm like, okay. She's like, so nice. She gives me options, but I just knew that I was very sure that I wanted to finish school, and I always wanted to get married first, and my partner wants to marry me, but I just felt like he was traveling, he's doing business in different countries, and I was not comfortable with raising a child if I can't at least be financially steady. That's just my personal thing. And I was feeling like I was responsible initially because I wasn't ready to get pregnant. I was ready to do the plan B, and I was kind of misled. So now we're at the option for abortion. I don't have health insurance at this time. I just quit my job, and I was just stay at home working on studying to go back to school. So I have no insurance, health insurance, barely any money really. And so I researched some options, and there is a abortion pill. So I was like, okay, it gets imported from another country, and many girls do it. I think it's a great option. Let me just start off and say I think it's a great option. However, when I went throughout YouTube, I was so misled on this right here. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, if you take that pill, you will get it's two pills. It's the first pill that you take, and then 2 days later you put like 6 pills in your cheek. Okay, that first pill that you take, you can take some Aleve. It's like slight cramping, maybe a 2 out of 10, right? But 2 days later, when you take those 6 pills, make sure that you have a narcotic. I am not kidding you. Make sure you have a narcotic. And out of all of the many different YouTube videos of women talking about their abortion pill, they at home, they never mention that. I would have passed out, and I say that the pain is like having somebody saw your leg off with a chainsaw. I kid you not. I tattoo, okay? I have had my eyeliner tattooed on my eyeballs, needles to eyeball, okay? I know pain. I'm fine with pain. It hurts. But that pain is something that I can't explain. It's literally out of this world pain. I have endometriosis, which means I have back cramps every month. So I deal with coochie pain, vagina pain, excuse my French, vagina pain, okay? But when I say that if you are pain tolerant, great. But if you can't imagine going through surgery to have your upper thigh cut in half by a chainsaw, do not go into this with Aleve, ibuprofen, naproxen, any of that. It's not, I'm telling you, it's not. I don't want you to hurt yourself. There's no way that I could have done this without it. So what happened is I had no idea that I needed a narcotic, okay? And anybody who does the pill, I would just say, if you have a narcotic at home, you need at least 3 days worth of supply. So for me, I was going to go to my dad's house. My dad was cooking something I was allergic to. I thank God that I didn't do the process at my dad's house. I went to his mother's house. She happened to have narcotics from her surgery. She doesn't do drugs, but she had a surgery, and she just happened to have some Oxycontin. And she had 3 days worth. And that was just enough for me to clear it. In my head, I thought it was only going to take 4 hours to clear, to have the expel. Okay? Absolutely not. So let me break down into detail what you can expect. The very first pill, remember it's 2-part pills. The very first pill you take, 2 out of 10, you can take Aleve. 2 days later, you're going to put 4 pills and then another 2 pills in your cheeks. Let it dissolve. Drink some water. That's when you're going to need the Oxycontin, essentially. And if you don't have it, you need to make sure that you go to a hospital and have a doctor give you that pill. And that's why laws in Texas are so nerve-wracking, because these women might order it from online and get it from another country, and they are not, when they get from another country, it's cheaper than going to a doctor, especially if you don't have insurance. That's a feasible option, assumingly. But there's nowhere on that pill does it say that it has to be taken with a narcotic. It is excruciating pain. And when you have the pill, you feel powerful, but without that narcotic, that's the other half. You can't have one without the other. You're having surgery with a chainsaw, okay? So day 2, you take the 6 pills, and then you need to take a narcotic. I don't care. For me, I just had Oxycontin, but you have to take that. I had 5 milligrams the first 30 minutes. I had 5 milligrams on the second day, and then I had to up it till 7 milligrams. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit more about how that went, because I documented this, because I'm like, oh my God, the first day, I'm thinking 4 hours, right? I went through the first day, and the first day wasn't even, it was painful, but it wasn't even that bad. Without the Oxycontin, it would have been maybe a 7 out of 10. It escalated to a 30 out of 10 the next day. So the first day of the second dosage, I just started to feel like dilating back pressure. I just lifted my butt up to leave it. Again, I took only 5 milligrams of Oxycontin. I was having pain loops maybe. So I took it around. I didn't have any food in my system. I took like ibuprofen, because I didn't even think I need narcotic, right? So when I took the second pill, I took 4, but before that, an hour before that, I took an ibuprofen. Then I took the 4. Then I let it kind of give an hour, right, to kind of set in and let my body have some medicine in me before I take the other 2, before it goes down. So I took the other 2. It starts going down. I'm like, oh, I need something more. That's when I get the Oxycontin. 5 milligrams. It starts working, but it's not enough. So then I up it to 7. So then 30 minutes later, the pain starts going up, up, up. And I have to take a second pill of the 5 milligrams. So now I'm at 10 milligrams essentially. And it starts feeling like the internal lining of my body is starting to rip. So I'm just doing like breathing control until I can go to sleep. So then after a while, the meds kick in. I go to sleep. And then after about 5 hours, it's about, so it was like around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, about like 4 hours later, maybe like 5 hours later, I wake up and I just take one more pill for the pain. And then I go to the restroom and I expel some tissue, but no blood, right? And then I started throwing up the medication, which was nerve-wracking because I only had a little bit anyways. And then I just had a little bit of cramps. So at this point in time, it's the very end of the first day. I'm about 6 hours in. I only thought it was going to be 4 hours. I'm 6 hours in, and I expelled some tissue. So I thought that was it. It was not it. It was essentially just the first lining of my body truly like breaking down and being expelled out. I thought it was over with. So the next day, the whole day, it was very painful. Blood, extreme, what's it called? Dilating of my back and my uterus. And the second day is truly when it expelled, and I essentially just wanted to be knocked out all day. I just wanted to be asleep all day. It was so painful. And luckily I just had enough medicine. And in my head, I'm thinking, when is this going to end? I don't know how long this is going to be. Again, only thinking 4 hours, right? This is the second day. And I think I didn't expel until maybe like 9 o'clock at night, the second day. And I started 24 hours before that. So when I popped the second set of second pills, that was around like 8 p.m. the day before. So day 2, 9 p.m., I'm actually expelled. And I tried to go without any Oxycontin to kind of like stretch out, because I only had a very small supply and I didn't know how many days it was going to take. I couldn't do it. I was on the ground, like feeling like I was going to pass out, because also keep in mind, the day before I did a light meal prep. I did smoothie, soft tacos. I did avocado, kale, pineapple, just to make sure my body was super healthy. But I think when my body needed the energy, it was very light. And I mean, it's a very traumatic thing for your body. So by the second day, I mean, that nutrients was used up that first 24 hours. The second day, I was so weak. I had to take the Oxycontin. And as soon as I did, maybe 30 minutes in, I was able to go to sleep. I just slept that whole day off. And then by the third morning, I woke up, and I would say that it kind of went from a 30 out of 10 back down to like a 2 out of 10. Because again, it was 9 p.m. that night before. The third day, I wake up probably around like, I don't know, 8 in the morning. And I mean, at that point in time, I can just kind of start taking, I still take like one Oxycontin and then maybe one Aleve, and I'm able to kind of walk around. My body's just super sore. It's just like 2 out of 10. Like if 3 out of 10 would be like a sore leg day, it was that. And my body was just tired. And I think day 4, my body was just tired. Like I just needed to eat and kind of rest and not do too much strenuous exercise. I tried to take a dog for a walk. I couldn't really do that. I did, but that was it for like the day. So I really wanted to just share my experience with you. And this is an experience that I had for myself. My partner was out of the country at the time, and I had one of my cousins who's like a best friend of me, a sister. But it's helpful to have somebody who can go run errands, get you some food, somebody who really cares about you, is not going to be telling the world about your business. Because that was another thing. I really didn't want anybody to know what was going on. Even his mother just thought I had bad cramps. I just wanted it to be a very private, personal thing. And I'm very happy that I had that experience. It was good for me to have that experience. I don't regret having that experience. I just wish that I probably could have caught it with a plan B or something. But worst case scenario, I think it's a great option. I will never do it again. I will never do it again at home. Probably ever again. Like if I had insurance, I would just go do that. But this is just for those who want to know, to compare, what the experience is like at home versus if you were to go to the doctor. It's much cheaper by about $150. It's worth the $150 or $60. I think I paid like $120 for mine, and the doctor could have been like $350 or something like that. And it was just a better option for me. But it does not come with a narcotic. And if you are okay with getting your leg chainsawed off, and this is no exaggeration, then fine. But otherwise, go to a doctor, let them bill you. If you don't have the money, let them bill you. It is worth it. But don't do that at home by yourself. I was very fortunate enough, and I'm thankful that I have people who love me to caretake for me. And I just feel like there was videos out here, but they weren't giving, everything the good sisters needed, and I just feel for those girls in Texas because, man, imagine not going to the doctor. Imagine trying to be kind of sneaky and just ordering it online and having no idea how painful it's going to be. I can't imagine. I almost passed out. I could not breathe. I was just like, I'm going to die here on this floor. And I'm just thankful that I just was able to have that Oxycontin with me. And I don't even take pills like that. But yeah, hopefully this is informative. Hopefully you guys get something from this. And y'all just be safe out there, because you can take precautions and think that, you're being responsible, but the condom could break. There's so many different options that could happen with sex. So, and I mean, I have a good partner, but there's a lot of partners that also just aren't. There's a lot of misleading people. And for the pregnancy clinic to not even accept me to get a pregnancy test until about 6 weeks, and then at 6 weeks there's a heartbeat. I mean, you have like a 2-week window, so it's really unfair. So I think out of the whole worldly population, women make up 2/3 of the world, and we are the only ones that kind of understand these problems. I don't think that it's fair for these men leaders to come up with a solution for female situations. I think females ultimately hold the key and answers for ourselves. I mean, unless it was somebody's dad, but these leaders are not my father. They can't, my dad can't make that decision for me. He loves me and wishes me well, but he can't make that decision for me. So you ladies be safe out here, and I send this video out with love. And text me, DM me if you have any questions, comment below, and hopefully this video helps somebody. All right, bye.